So what's the story on this cat?
Okay, this cat is at a place called a rescue farm, which apparently is a chain of rescues in Florida. I think there's 3 other ones, and they specialize in horses and small animals. And they have this tiger. The lady who, I don't know if she founded it or she was at least the permit holder there, is now hospitalized and doesn't have a good outlook. And one of the things that you can never plan for when you own a tiger is, you know, the inevitability of you're getting old. And the lady who owns Tigger is actually a patient in that hospital right across the street. And she's unable to take care of the cat. Hopefully that wasn't her. She's unable to take care of the cat, and it's left in the hands of people who don't know what they're doing, and more importantly, they don't have a license. It's scary. They actually had a cougar, and they have a tiger and a bobcat there. And the cougar has died, and the tiger is inside of a shed and in a chain link enclosure, and it has both sides of this, basically just a dog kennel. And they used to take her when she was younger. They would take her to retirement homes to visit the elderly, and she walked on a leash everywhere. And of course, like everything else, when they get too big, that stops. The rescue farm has been sold to new owners, which are going to continue, but just in the capacity of smaller horses and smaller animals, like pocket pet type animals. The tiger's got to go. There'll be no permit holder on the property, and the bobcat's got to go. But as far as the tiger goes, none of who we label the bad guys want this tiger because she has been spayed. And when I saw her last time, she is absolutely one of the most beautiful, big, just from appearance, Siberian tigers that I've ever seen. And she's been declawed and spayed, so she's of not much value for the breeder, so they don't want her. And basically, it puts Fish and Wildlife in a position where this tiger has nowhere to go, and they have no one that will take it. So the only thing they can do is euthanize it, and it's you know, it's a lot of money. She's only 6 years old, so we're looking at probably 14, 15 years of huge food bills, vet bills, and as always, you know, it's people that meant well in the beginning, but situations change, as they always do, and there's nowhere for it to go. It's been in this shed for at least 3 years since it's been outside and seen the sunlight, and when I saw it the first time, it was straining to climb the chain link to look outside and actually get a glimpse of the outside world. So it would be awesome to give this girl a good life.
So this cat has never had, like, I mean, in the past 3 years, like fresh air or seen the outside or anything?
Not at all. And before that, she only went outside on a leash. So it's not like she ever had an outdoor enclosure or that she ever got to swim and run on grass and have any sort of life. So it's essentially, this has been it for her. But she's huge. She's about 600 pounds. She's a big tiger.
And didn't you tell me that the other side of the kennel that she now has, the double side too, that the other side was where the cougar was living for initially, so she's only had half of that space?
Absolutely. She's only had half of that space, and you know, there's just looking at it, you kind of cringe because there's tire swings hanging in there, stuff that she could get hurt on, and I don't know how. I mean, it's Florida. They hose that thing out. I don't know if she's ever dry, if that concrete is ever dry. And with her being declawed in the front, we know what declawed cats end up looking like when they're on concrete. And this lady that's in the hospital, she's, you know, all she can think of, she's really not with it anymore, and she knows she's just so emotionally attached to this tiger. And it's the same thing as we just saw in this chimp attack. She recently lost her husband and her own mother, and she's just projecting all of her hopes on this cat, and she's so devastated at the thought of giving it up that it's very, very hard for her. You know, it's such a reality check. She's never ever going to be able to take care of animals again, and you know, she's never going to be able to afford animals again, and yet she's still worried. Her big concern is giving up her license to own these animals. She has concerns that would somehow prevent her from ever working with animals again. And it's that, and that's honestly her reality. She, you know, it sounds like if she's in liver failure, she may not even ever live outside of a hospital again, and yet still in the back of her mind, that's bothering her, that she might have to give up that permit to own these kind of animals.
And you see that all the time, where it's more about what the people feel like they're losing. It's not about what's best for the animal, it's about them, and it shouldn't be about them.
Now the cool part is the two ladies, the mother and daughter that work there, that are taking care of this cat, they know that it's wrong, and they feel terrible. And again, I just think in their mind they're doing everything they can, and they know it's not right. And when I talk to them, they almost seemed embarrassed, like they're ashamed of being part of this cat. But yet when they talk about her, they want to just, they want to go in with her, they want to hug her, they just think of her. There's even a sign that says she's just a big house cat. And they just don't get it. They don't get it. And I mean, thankfully, this is honestly one of the most mild-mannered tigers I have ever seen, which is a good thing, because they'd probably both be dead by now.
Do they go in with her?
They say that they don't, and they say that they don't take her out on the leash anymore because they're not legally licensed to own her. But good Lord,
that's the only reason.
When I was there, they surely just opened that door, right, and tried to call her over there.
Okay, I'm staying in the car for that one.
And then when they saw how I reacted, oh, she won't come up. I said, yeah.
Famous last words.
Yeah, exactly.
And how does the owner justify this cat being in this shed?
That's not how she sees it. She sees that as part of what makes her complete, and that's just a temporary situation. They always have grandiose plans that we're going to have this huge outdoor enclosure with waterfalls and caves and huge swimming pools, and that's exactly what they told me. Well, the plan was to enclose a whole acre for her and have a waterfall every time. You could probably, isn't that a broken record? Every time.
Every one of these sanctuary sites that you go to has these incredible multi-million-dollar plans of how they're going to be taking care of these animals someday. If somebody will just send them the money, and when people do send them the money, it ends up going to salaries. It doesn't.
They get more animals.
But this is 3 years in the making still.
Well, you know what, Barbara? When I asked them, because they said, well, she used to go outside all the time, and she used to do this. I said, well, honestly, when was the last time she's been outside? And they both kind of looked at each other, and they tried to figure it out in their heads. And then they were both, really hurt that it was 3 years. I don't think it even crossed their mind how long she had been in that shed. It's horrifying, and the area is lined with cages with raccoons and foxes and chinchillas and ferrets and all these other animals in tiny, tiny cages. And then they have a piece of tape on the floor because school kids come out there and take care of the little animals, and it's just, there's a piece of red tape that they know if you step over that line, you're too close to the tiger. Kids, school kids, elementary kids.
And yet that's all that the state requires. They say